We're here for her, and we know that as a family that this is what she wants, and we're going to do what we have to do as a family to get justice.
Tonight at 6, the very first steps toward justice for the family of an Indianapolis teenager murdered, her body burned.
Police have a man in jail that they say killed 15-year-old Dominique Allen. Good evening, everyone. I'm John Stair.
And I'm Andrea Moorhead. Tonight at 6 o'clock, prosecutors charged William Gholston Sr. with murder and the death of Ben Davis freshman. Allen disappeared back on August 31st. Her remains found a few hours later in the yard of a West Side home.
Tonight, we're learning more about the suspected killer, his long criminal history, and we'll hear from people who know him.
And we're also hearing tonight from the teenage victim's family, who never, ever gave up hope that police would finally solve this case. But let's begin tonight at 6 o'clock with our Crime Bureau reporter Steve Jefferson, who explains how police found their man.
William Gholston has been here at the Marion County Jail for several days for violating his parole. Detectives served him with an arrest warrant early Friday morning in the murder of Dominique Allen. These court documents outline why he now faces charges for her murder. Metro homicide detectives are confident about their case against William Gholston Sr. Right now, he is behind bars, the only and prime suspect in the gruesome murder of Dominique Allen. Investigators say on August 31st, the 15-year-old was strangled inside a vacant home on West 10th Street. The killer then moved her body, police say, behind a vacant house on North Elder, setting it on fire to cover up the crime. But after weeks of following lead after lead,
I felt good.
Lead detective Marcus Kennedy got a break in the case thanks to forensics. The crime lab reportedly matched DNA from the teenager's body to that of Gholston's, already on file from his time in prison.
Just felt it was important to pull everybody together and see if we had come up with some new strategies, and that's what we began to do when the new DNA evidence came out.
We pray that you continue to strengthen this family.
Now, Dominique Allen's family is promising to be there every time her accused killer goes to court. Gholston will go to court next week to hear formal charges in the murder of Dominique Allen. At that time, a judge will most likely enter a not guilty plea on his behalf, appoint him an attorney, and set trial dates. Steve Jefferson, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.
All right, Steve, thank you. Meanwhile, the family of Dominique Allen demanded justice at every turn, frequently speaking out in hopes of finding the killer.
We still feel that it was her pushing us. It was her, driving us to continue to do what we had to do.
But I can't say what I think about him right now, but he needs to be convicted because she was a baby and he hurt her.
But of course, as you can imagine, the pain continues. The family says the arrest gives them some comfort as they now face the holidays this year without Dominique.
As more details emerge about Gholston's past and his possible connection to this crime, very few people are more surprised than a former neighbor who says he knew Gholston well and talked with him regularly. Eyewitness News reporter Kerry Klein says he was stunned to find out that the man who used to live right across the street is the same man the prosecutors now charged with murder.
When they read his record out on the news, I didn't know none of that. I didn't know that he was in that kind of trouble. I didn't know he'd been in that kind of trouble. I didn't know nothing until I seen it on the news.
And now Ricky Whiteside is struggling to make sense of the William Gholston he knew as his neighbor and the one he's learning about for the first time on the news, accused of the brutal murder of Dominique Allen.
I just get up in the morning, come outside, start my truck, and let my truck run, and he come outside and come over and we talk.
Allen's body was found in the backyard just 2 doors down from where Whiteside lives and across the street from where he says Gholston used to live.
When it first happened, I know I was just telling certain people around me down here that whoever did that had to be from around here.
Whiteside says Gholston moved away about 2 months before Allen's murder.
That house was vacant. Then nobody lived there. And he knew that then. But at the time he put that body back there, he didn't know that somebody moved in the house.
Now, after learning of the arrest, Gholston's background, and taking some time to process it all,
he had to do it. He did it. And I'm glad he's in jail.
That was Kerry Klein reporting. Now, Gholston has been in and out of jail since he was a teenager with convictions for battery, robbery, even child molestation. In 2002, he beat a murder charge.
I'd say he ought to be locked up and never let out.
Brutally beat and strangled Sandra Clark Hobbs on the South Side 12 years ago. Hobbs' mother, Mary Lou Clark, was there when Gholston was tried and acquitted in her daughter's murder. She says she still believes he's the man who killed her daughter, and she's glad he's now off the streets.
And in Bluffton, where Gholston was living, residents there are still trying to take all of this in. Eyewitness News reporter Kevin Rader spoke to a couple who thought they were helping when they welcomed Nicole Cruz and her boyfriend, William Gholston, into their home. But now they realize they were taking in an accused killer.
This apartment complex on Silver Street in Bluffton, Indiana, was the residence where Gholston was arrested by IMPD. Gholston was arrested November 11th at this Bluffton apartment complex, but not before he had taken up residence with the Glaze family.
By God, if I'd have known that from the get-go, he'd have not been in my house. But Nicole didn't even know that until she went and talked to the detectives up in Indianapolis.
I'm not having a killer in my house ever again.
Nicole Cruz had professed her love for Gholston a lot on Facebook, but it also turned drastically after his arrest by IMPD when she says, "I thank God I'm alive and breathing, and I pray for the people he's hurt and their families. And please pray for the family of the 15-year-old girl." In Bluffton, Indiana, Kevin Rader, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.
And you can also read more on the Dominique Allen case on our website at WTHR.com, including the charging documents released today, the history of the man arrested, and the latest updates on the police investigation.